their feet. Rose walking toward the plate. The most famous number 14 in the history of this game, and trying to make history right here in the first inning tonight. He levels the bat a couple of times. Shao kicks and he fires. Rose swings.
There it is! There it is! Get out! Get out! All right!
Hit number 4192. A line drive single into left center field. A clean base hit. And it is pandemonium here at Riverfront Stadium. The fireworks exploding overhead. The Cincinnati dugout has emptied. The applause continues unabated. Rose completely encircled by his teammates at first base. Joe, quite an emotional scene here at the ballpark.
Another base hit. Yes, it is.
And Rose now recognizing this outpouring of affection from the standing room only crowd as he turns a complete circle, waving and doffing his batting helmet to the crowd. And the folks on this date, September the 11th, certainly have not been disappointed one iota.
An almost unbelievable sight here at Riverfront Stadium on this September the 11th, 1985.
Well,
what an outstanding show.
I'll tell you what, there's never been a hometown athlete more loved by the residents, the natives of that city than Pete Rose is loved by the people of Cincinnati, Ohio.
Thanks for joining Island Card Collector and in this tribute video to Pete Rose. Pete Rose was my favorite player growing up in Cincinnati, and it's really hit and impacted a lot of people in the Cincinnati area and really all over baseball with his passing. And what we wanted to do was just to show the player run. I've got a lot of Pete Rose cards, but the graded ones, I've got almost a complete set. You're going to see that here in a second. But just thought it was a fitting way for this channel to honor the legacy of Pete Rose. And before we get into the cards, did have one other item Maniacs is going to show you guys.
So you've probably seen this bat I've been holding. So we have this Pete Rose bat, signed by Pete Rose. It says Hit King on it.
Zoom in a little bit towards the camera so they can see that good.
There it is.
So I did buy this, ironically, about a month or two ago on an auction site, and prices have gone up on them. But this is going to be, I'm going to do like a man cave and such when we get our new house, and gonna hang that up on the wall in a place of honor. So again, this is for Pete and for his memory. Thanks for watching.
I'm gonna do our first card. This is one of the newest ones, or the newest one that our card collector has, is a 2008 Donruss Sports Legends Materials, and it is a red mirror, as you can see there. So obviously it has this patch here, and it's a serial number out of 173 out of 250. And
there you go.
it's a pretty nice card.
You know, there's a lot of Pete Rose, either MLB branded or non-branded cards out there. He did a big deal with Leaf over the last several years. This, I think, is funny to point out. You think, oh, that's cool. Look at that. That's a Phillies pinstripe. That is game used. Nope. 2008 was around the time that they started doing the this enclosed piece of material was personally worn by Pete Rose, so the player would wear the shirt for 2 seconds, take it off, and then they would rip it up. This is kind of the start of when all the game use stuff, in my opinion, started losing its value, because it's much cooler when it's from a particular game. And anyway, that's a Pete Rose relic card, so that's just a little bonus card. We're going to start with the player run now. His last card, 1989, he was a manager. This is the Pete Rose that I know and remember the best. This is in a BVG 8, near mint. He was managing only at the time, and this is from the time that he was, unfortunately, betting on the Reds while he was the manager. There are no Fleer or Donruss, Upper Deck, or Score. No other cards of Pete Rose from 1989 out of the major brands. So this one stands alone. All right, that's his newest card. Let's move on.
Now we have the 1988 Topps Pete Rose in a mint 9. This is actually a better grade than the last one. And in this card, he's also a manager. As you can see, it has that kind of junk wax back. So this one wouldn't be too hard to pull from the pack if you wanted to get this card.
Centering's beautiful.
Yeah. Surprised it's got a 9.
Great card. We're going to move on to the 1987. This is the third of manager card only in a row. This is a BVG 9. Nice card. You got the team checklist on there. Team checklist does not include Barry Larkin. Yeah, no, there he is. So you get the Barry Larkin rookie on there. All right. Let's move on.
Same set, and it is a Beckett 9, and this is the player card.
There you go. His full stats are on there. Why don't you zoom in on those?
Okay. Here's the
Look at that, guys.
all the stats.
14,000 at-bats. 4,256 hits. Just unbelievable. Lifetime 303 batter. Incredible.
Okay, so now we have the Tiffany.
Topps Tiffany. Tiffany was a parallel that was sold to hobby shops, card shops only. As a complete set, people would break them up. Here's a Topps Tiffany 86 Rose and a 7. The back is really nice, much nicer than the regular one you're going to see here in a minute. Super bright and shiny, just like the traded set.
And then
And you can see on there real quick, first base manager. He's still player manager.
And now we have the Topps Tiffany. This is the special card, and this is showing some of the years he played. And there's a ton of these cards from the set, and I'm pretty sure they show mostly like every player card on them. So this one has the newer years right behind the 86, which is the 83, 84, and 85.
I love those cards when I was a kid. They were so cool. They did them of a bunch of players back then. All right. Now we're going to go into the regular 86 Topps. This is the manager card. Again, he got two cards because he was a manager and a player. This is in a CSG 8.5 slab. Not much else to say about that. Let's move on.
Now we have 86 Topps, or technically it says 85 there. Record breaker. Pete Rose, Cincinnati Reds, most hits lifetime.
That's when he did it. Broke the record. Ty Cobb's record that nobody ever thought could be broken. What grade was that?
This is in a Beckett 8.5.
All right. A lot of cards here from the 80s, guys. We're going to move into the... Let's just put all these together. Bring them out here together. No, not that one. That's a Tiffany.
Oh, yeah.
Bring these here. Pete Rose Special. We got 4 of them. I'm going to move the camera up. Let's just fit them all in there.
So We're doing most recent to oldest. So
4. I'm missing 2 of them. I'm
one,
watching a
and
couple of them on eBay right now. But these are basically the cards you're going to see, guys. This is a sneak preview of the rest of the video that you guys are going to see a little bit later on. That's kind of cool. It's not all the cards, so there still will be some suspense. And you can see these are 4 8.5s. Just nice to have them slabbed and part of the run.
We have this one. Is this a duplicate?
No, because the other one's a Tiffany.
Ah, yes. So there is the normal tops. Pete Rose, as you can see, number 1 right there.
And
The
that
well-deserved number 1 in the set.
Yep, and that back doesn't look near as good.
8.5.
All right. Next up is one of my favorite cards. The Donruss King of Kings. Diamond Kings occasionally, and I think, guys, keep me honest in the comments. I know Nolan Ryan got the King of Kings designation, but I don't think hardly anybody got that designation. Pete Rose deservedly got it. 1986 Donruss. This is in a PSA Gem Mint 10, and I love that card. Beautiful.
Here we have another first base manager card. This is 85 tops in a CSG 8.5 near mint. Pretty nice card. And then for the same year, we have another record breaker card on Pete Rose,
Most
1985.
singles lifetime.
Most singles.
Kind of an interesting record.
And PSA mint 9.
All right. Next up, we got an oddball. I'm going to take it out of its sleeve because I didn't realize the back of that one had some writing on it. Here we go, guys. 1984. You're not going to see too many of these. Tops traded, CSG 8.5. Pete Rose with the Montreal Expos. He was traded to the Expos by the Phillies, and he was with them a very short period of time. And then he moved back to the Reds. So there you go. Nice card. Actually, one of the last Reds games I was at, there was a guy wearing a Pete Rose Expos jersey there. I thought that was pretty cool.
So we have, obviously, the 84 tops. First base, Pete Rose on the Phillies. And then have another one, which is the 4th annual collector's edition of Pete Rose.
Drake's Big Hitters. It was made by Topps, but it was they were inserted, I guess, in Drake's cookies, or they were a mail-in redemption. I'm not sure. That's a little before my time. I was like 5, 6 years old at the time. If anybody knows how you got these cards, comment down below.
In a CSG Mint 9. Next up, we have
1984 Fleer. This is in a PSA 8. I love this card. Reds reunited. You got Perez, Rose, and Morgan all chilling in Philadelphia. Very cool card. I need to get the 84 Fleer. You're going to notice, if you're paying attention here, I am missing a few cards as we've gone through this. Again, we got about 7 cards to go in my complete main player run here.
we have the 1984 Donruss, SGC 9 Pete Rose. This is a nice looking card.
Looks better than a 9, man, to be honest with you. That'd probably get a PSA 10.
He didn't get an important number in the set there.
Yeah, just kind of a random number.
Yeah.
1984 Donruss, by the way, guys, one of my absolute favorite sets. Just so beautiful, so iconic. One of my favorite sets of the 1980s. Probably third to the 1980 Topps and the 1989 Upper Deck.
Now we have the 83 Pete Rose in a 8.5 in a Phillies jersey once again. Cool card.
It's going to get real interesting when we get back into the 70s because that's what I love. 1983 Don Russ and a PSA Gem Mint 10.
10.
I have to think that this card's gone up in value. Not that I care because it's just part of my collection for life. But that's a beautiful, beautiful looking card. All right.
Now we have the 82 Topps. Pete Rose in a near mint 8. Still in the Phillies jersey. Just put that up there. Okay, here we go. We have a batting and pitching leaders. So we have Stuart Carlton as the pitching leader, and obviously Pete Rose as the 81 batting leader.
Look at that, 325 batting average, guys. Just incredible.
And a near mint 7.5 Beckett.
Go ahead and do that one. We got one more of the 82s here, man.
Okay. We have the 82 Pete Rose highlights, or highlight. This is obviously an 81 because they obviously, or always do last year. He sets the National League career mark for hits.
Big deal.
Beckett 7.5.
All right. Now we'll go to 81, 1981 Topps and a CSG 8 slab with the Phillies. So many great years. This is actually the year after the 1980 Phillies won the World Series. You can see Pete was in his second year. And as Mike Schmidt said, Pete made him a better player. And everybody says that. Everybody said Pete was so competitive, he would elevate everybody's game around him and make them all better players.
Now we have the 81 Fleer, Pete Rose, in a near mint 8.
His early Fleer and Donruss cards are pretty ugly in my opinion.
His hits were still over 3,000. 3,557 in 81.
Crazy, man. Crazy. Let's do another 81. I mean, it looks better than the Fleer. Number 371, SGC 9. 81 Donruss. There we go.
By the way, he did get number 1 on that card.
There you go.
If
That's good to see.
I'm not keeping track, but you can comment down below how many cards he got number 1 on. It might just be those 2, but I'm not sure. We have the 1980 Topps, Pete Rose. I personally think this is a pretty ugly card.
Yeah, it's not a very
it's
good
not
look.
a pretty card with the purple for the Phillies.
I like
that
the 80
just looks
set,
weird.
I don't like that.
Oh, whoops. In a near mint 8.
All right, guys. Now it's time. We're going into the 70s, and I have a confession to make. I do not have the regular 1979 Topps. Actually bidding on one right now. But I do have the record breaker. Modern National League record of most consecutive games batting safely. That was a big deal. 44 straight games. I don't know if anybody will ever have a 44-game hitting streak again. That's in a PSA 8.
Next up, we have the 1978 Topps.
Man, I should have done that one. That's my birth year.
Yeah, you should have.
I'm from 1978 vintage, man.
In a Beckett near mint 8 as a third base. Whoops.
Nice card. You can see Pete moving around positions. He was willing to play anywhere. It didn't matter. As he said famously, he'd walk through hell in a gasoline suit just to play baseball. 1977 Topps, BVG near mint 8. All-Star banner on these cards is so cool. And this is the year after they repeated as World Series champions. The Big Red Machine. Before my time.
We have the 1976 World Series
Speaking
card.
of, there it is, man.
Morgan homers. And in the
Actually,
series
that card
opener.
shouldn't even be in here. Pete Rose is not on that card.
And then bench.
Never mind. Take
Get it
that
out.
card out of here.
Quick, before people notice. Alright. Now we have the 77 O-Pee-Chee.
That's so
Pete
cool.
Rose.
Now look, notice the difference, guys, between the O-Pee-Chee and the Tops. The O-Pee-Chee doesn't have the All-Star banner, and I think that makes the O-Pee-Chee an uglier card. Those were Canadian printed and issued only in Canada, so they are a lot harder to find and more valuable.
Beckett 75.
I don't have too many O-Pee-Chees. Might be the only one of Pete Rose I have. This is a beautiful card here, guys. 1976 Tops. This is probably one of my lower grades for the 70s. CSG 5 slab. Probably need to upgrade that one. I do got a nice copy in a complete set binder. Maybe I can send that one in. Nice classic image of Pete. And then we move on to
1975 in a numerate 7, Pete Rose.
Beauty.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice card with that red and the yellow and then reds and blue, which doesn't make much sense.
Go, look at the background on the front of that card. You can see the trees in the background, guys. A lot of these pictures were taken in spring training down in Florida. That's why it's not an actual stadium shot. So I actually love that the field is diagonal with trees in the background. It's pretty cool. The older we get, the more valuable we get. Here's a 74 Tops, number 300, and a BVG 7.5. You can see he's in a bunting pose there because, again, Pete didn't matter. He was the ultimate gamer. Didn't matter how he got on base. He would just do what he could to help his team win.
Now we have the 1973 batting leaders. Now, here's the 73 because it's about last year. It's actually 74 Tops with Rod Carew and Pete Rose in a 6 PSA.
We're moving back. We got the 73 here and a BVG 7.5. Nice card. Wish I could help with the glare, guys. Sorry about that. Peter Edward Rose. Man, these cards are hard to grade. Look at that black back. You see chipping on these a lot of times. Even out of the pack. Nice card.
Now we have the 1972 Tops. Pete Rose in an excellent plus.
This is my third
5.5.
favorite.
I was going to say this does look pretty good.
This is my third favorite. 1972 Tops, guys. My all-time favorite set of all time. That classic 70s look with the 3D letters and all the different psychedelic colors, man. These were just awesome cards. Then we get into one of the hardest card sets to grade of all time, the 1971 Tops. Black border. You can see there's some chipping on this guy. It's still got a 6 just because, man, these things are just impossible to grade. These are classic. Got the image, the picture photo on the back. It tells the first year in Pro Ball, 1960. The first game in the majors, 1963.
Now we have the 1970 Tops. Pete Rose in a excellent mint. 6.5. Not so excellent to me. As you can tell, as we're getting older, he's starting to get a lot younger looking.
I thought you were going to say as we get older, the grades get lower.
Well, that's too. Because it's hard to get a higher grade.
I got a couple oddball cards coming at you guys now. 1969 Tops Deckle Edge. These were inserted into packs. And you talk about hard to grade. Look at those borders, man. This is in a PSA 3. To me, it looks really good for a 3. But again, just hard to grade these guys.
We have the 1969 deco inserts, once again. This is in a BCCG
That's a decal insert.
decal. In a 10-min or better.
It's a junk slab.
That's an interesting thing to say. It's tiny little thing.
Those are cool.
Printed in the UK.
I never noticed that before. We're going to stay in 1969, guys. I just have so many 69 cards. It's crazy. This is a beauty. I love this card. 69 Topps, Pete Rose All-Star, Sporting News, banner on there, and a BVG 6.5 in the back was a puzzle. I think it was Carl Yastrzemski that year. I'm not exactly sure. There you go. Let's continue with the same year.
Here is the most famous card of 69, probably. The 1969 Topps in a 6. Nice card.
Alright, we're going to move on back. If you guys are enjoying this tribute video, go ahead and smash that like button. We would appreciate it. This isn't really for views or anything. We're just commemorating, honoring the life of Pete Rose. PSA 7, 1968 Topps. Again, nice young looking Pete. Just a cool card.
Now we have the 1967 Topps in an SGC 5.5.
Old slab.
Yeah. Nice card.
Well, they're all nice from this point on, I'll tell you that. We got 66 Topps Pete Rose in an SGC 5. That classic smile where he's got the gap in his teeth. Got his minor league stats on there. Geneva, Tampa, and Macon. On his way to the bigs. Hustling Pete Rose.
This is a pretty nice looking card. I like the look of this one. The 1965 Topps Pete Rose in a PSA 5.
Guys, that's my second favorite Pete Rose card. I love 1965. I love that Reds banner with the Mr. Redleg on there. That old classic uniform. Some of the guys used to wear it without the shirt underneath to show off their guns. You can see Pete was the Rookie of the Year in 1963.
It's funny, every card I say look good.
All right, you get to show my favorite.
The 1964 Pete Rose as an All-Star rookie in a PSA 5.
That is just a beautiful classic card. And I'm going to tell you guys, most people would agree with me. And they love that card better than his rookie card. And it's much, much more affordable. If you can own one Pete Rose card, guys, in your collection, I would encourage you to own this bad boy.
And that leads us to this card.
That leads us to this card.
You might have skipped to this point, and if you did, you're a bad person.
This is the most expensive card in my collection.
Easily.
It's not even close, guys. The Pete Rose 1963 Rookie Stars rookie card with the ugly floating heads. Some people joke around and call this the Ken McMullen rookie. But in this case, and for the sake of today in this video, this is definitely the Pete Rose rookie card. 3 other guys on there. This is a beautiful, beautiful SGC 5, and the only reason it grades that low is there's some marking here, but that's actually not a mark, it's a printing error. So it came out of the factory with this little scuff on it. That's why I just loved this copy when I got it. I was so happy to get it. It is a slight diamond cut on the back, but really good centering for the front. If you guys have seen these cards, again, they're kind of little diamond on the front too, but this is just a beautiful card. It's curious to see what this card is going for right now, but I have a guess it's probably around $1,500. There you go. We'll leave it there. You got anything to say?
Let's say something. It would be very stupid if you bought this card for any of these other rookies, and you'd probably be wondering why it's so expensive if you didn't know Pete Rose was on this card.
That's very true.
Imagine you bought this card not for the Pete Rose rookie, but one of these other ones.
Or back in the day, if you were a kid and you were trading to get Ken McMullen. All right, guys, we're gonna end it with these two cards on the screen. And again, appreciate you all hanging out with us and watching this Pete Rose tribute video. I know this one's been a little bit longer, but it's certainly worth it. Honoring one of the longest careers in baseball of Pete Rose. May he rest in peace. God bless you, Pete. God bless your family. Prayers for the family. Pete Jr. and the rest of them. And we'll be back again with another video. Thanks, everybody.